There it is.
He's back. The man behind the mask.
Jason Lives.
And he's
Friday
after
the
your soul.
13th, part 6.
Part 6. That's how I say it. I think that's the correct way to say the title of this movie.
There's a debate, in case you're unaware.
Jason Lives, Friday the 13th, part 6. Versus Friday the 13th, part 6. Jason Lives. Add in all the punctuation and the grammar yourself. I'm not doing that for you.
Commas or colons.
This movie is great. What do you think of this one?
I like it.
I
like it.
Amazing.
I still think I like 4 better, but I did really like 6. It's funny. It's actively
so
funny.
It is. It's like
funny on purpose.
What are the Airplane guys? Who did Airplane?
Those movies?
Suckers? The
Nielsen.
Sucker Brothers? Suckers?
I don't know.
To the 2 people who are going to watch this episode. It's very like Naked Gun humor.
Right. Yeah. That's why I said Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Which is really Austin Powers. I didn't realize that Austin Powers was such a takeoff of James Bond, like specific James Bonds. Anyway.
Yes.
That's not what we're here.
We digress. It's funny.
It's funny. I think you really fall down on the trivia on this one. I'm just going to call you out on live television, which is what we are on.
They changed the name from Camp Crystal Lake to Lake Forest Green.
That's something. Didn't know the name of the little girl?
I don't know the name of the little girl, but Sheriff Michael Garris.
Everybody's name. He's supposed to
Sheriff Michael Garris. Deputy Rick Cologne.
Who's that little boy?
Tien. His name is Tien.
We learned that.
I believe it's spelled Tyen.
Yeah. Tien?
Tien.
Like the tines of a fork?
Tines of a fork.
He's named, but spelled differently, I think.
Tines of a fork?
Oh, I'm assuming tines of a fork is Tines.
Yes. So, I don't know. I always thought Tien was Tian. Because I actually worked with the Tien. You thought
that Tien was a name.
I worked with a guy named Tien.
Tien is a name.
And I've worked with someone named Tyrion. So, it's just, it doesn't surprise me anymore.
So, there you go.
So, but he
is Moby.
The S&M guy who looks like Moby.
And Get Him to the Greek.
That is what he is credited as on IMDb.
So he's still doing stuff.
And he's in that show on Netflix that I didn't watch, but you did.
Friends from College.
Yeah.
Which, watch it.
He plays Alan. He's
so
in 5 episodes.
It's so funny. There's drama too, but the funny parts are and the drama you're like, shit. So it's perfect. It's a perfect show. But
his character in this movie is fantastic. I feel like he's the audience, the counterpart for the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say we're dead meat. We agree.
Yeah, total dead meat.
You guys are totally gonna die, but
they don't.
Spoiler alert. Because Jason doesn't kill kids.
This is the only Friday the 13th movie with kids at camp. Actually, kids at camp.
So he's not hopeless.
There are kids at camp.
He's actually a pretty okay guy, guys. He doesn't kill kids. He's a pretty okay guy.
That's really great. This is actual legitimate zombie Jason.
Yeah.
Because he is brought back from the dead by Tommy Jarvis.
Tommy J's.
All Tommy's fault.
Yeah, which is hilarious because he's setting out to make sure he never comes back.
Doesn't want Jason to come back. Totally brings him back
to life. My
very Frankenstein. Very.
I don't know why that's happening. I'm
Bruno.
So sorry.
Bruno has his own rules, his own terms.
I don't know why he's doing it.
We'll edit this out.
He's afraid of it. People, we're gonna edit this right out. Star swipe.
Bruno.
He's in there. He's just
my dog started humping me a lot. So, we have weird animal
problems. It's not technically a problem that he's in his litter box.
Is he just sitting in there?
I think he's peeing.
Is he?
Maybe he should. I don't know. He's using it in.
I don't want to watch
likes
it
to
because
just
I'm
be
like,
in
why
there.
is that? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's weird though because people totally watch their dogs.
I watch my dog shit all the time.
It's so weird that people watch their dogs.
And
poop.
my dog will watch me watch him.
It's so weird. That's a weird dog owner thing.
I don't know. I try not to. Like, I'm aware that I'm staring at it.
Okay, but that's like
So I
trying
try to
to
be
do
like,
it.
so I like, I'm
You're
aware
aware
of
it's
it, and I'll be
happening,
like, I
so-
need to stop, and so I'll turn and look at other stuff, but then it just comes back to the
Inevitably,
food.
you're back to looking at.
I mean, it's
food.
gonna be in my hand anyway, so what's the
Yeah,
matter?
that's gross. Ugh.
I mean, not. There is a
Literally, there's a
covering.
bag.
There's a covering there, so
There's a bag.
I pick up after my dog.
All right, that's great. He's all done.
Yeah.
He's out.
Sorry, there's things happening. Got
There's
distracted.
There's like cars.
So
just
it's
using
all
the dumpster.
Tommy's fault. He gets Horseshack from Welcome Back Kotter killed. Who is named Hawes.
Haas. So he
Haas.
almost calls him Horseshack, basically.
Basically. So when he yells
It's really
Haas when he gets his heart ripped out, which is great.
Yeah,
like, I
it's
mean
like
that is
Mortal Kombat. It's
Oh,
incredible.
I didn't mean
It's-
that white power sign.
Is that a
It's-
white
I
power
mean that's
sign?
that's what they use now, the
Fuck
okay
them.
sign. So
I
thumbs
like
up.
the okay sign.
So no more.
why
I
do
did
you
not
guys
mean
have
that.
to ruin things for
No
people?
Proud Boys
like
here.
you, such assholes in every aspect, every possible.
The
aspect.
heart
Sorry.
getting ripped out. Sorry, it's not a political podcast.
It's not a political
But
podcast.
fuck
I'm not,
the-
and I'm not
fuck the Proud
apologizing to
Boys.
any of you if you happen to be proud.
Fuck that.
I
Thumbs
mean,
up
yeah.
on the heart ripping out.
Yeah.
'cause
Oh,
that's
really good.
Wonderful.
Really a good death.
And then he yells,
And-
Horace! This is why I always thought Tom Matthews was from Canada. I always thought he
Oh,
was
yeah.
Canadian.
Because it's like he has a weird accent.
He pronounces things differently. But he's
He's
born
just-
and raised in LA.
He
so
just has a speech impediment or something. Which
always
is,
thought he was Canadian.
allowed.
Always thought he was hot. Still think he's hot. I think he's like
you
the
didn't think he
hunkiest.
became less hot when he ceased to be Canadian.
No.
I wouldn't. I'm
No.
just don't think I'd ever go that way.
Canadians are hot. I think Canadians are. Brian Adams.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds is hot. I know there's hot Canadians. I'm not saying there aren't
I say
hot
Brian
Canadians.
Adams because I'm in the
He's-
80s and
yeah.
you're like Ryan Reynolds, current.
Current.
Attractive, handsome man.
Really
And
attractive.
I'm like, give me
guy.
that five and dime.
Still
I would-
over Ryan
Well, I like
Reynolds?
see, so I like daddies. That's a thing.
Over
for me.
Ryan Reynolds, you would take
I
Bryan
think I would
Adams.
take Brian Adams. I would make him
Interesting.
sing to me. Ugh.
What?
Don't you think
I
he could
got my
like?
first real sex dream.
Yes.
That's what you want
That's
out of
like
life.
sexy. I
Got
think.
it at the fire.
Yes. Hot. Take me there.
And how old was he in the summer of '69? So he was like, I never said it was about the year. Oh, you were just getting fucking your dick sucked all the time. That's so great. This is like the most I've sweared in
Because
like a
he was like
2-minute time
5.
frame
He would have
ever
been
in
like
my life.
5 in 1969.
Yeah.
Like, in real life.
So he was actually talking about the
Oral
summer that he
sex.
first had oral sex.
Oral. I mean, all the good songs are about like masturbation or sex or
Turning
oral
Japanese sheep off.
sex.
Those are the best songs.
Dancing with Myself.
Dancing with Myself.
There's others, but
Turning Japanese is actually a great song.
it's a great song. Offensive?
Inappropriate. But it's a
Great.
great
New wave.
like just
Very new
like
wave.
really like, yeah. I
Very
can
new
do
wave.
these little twitchy moves to it. Like
The
I'm on
Vapors.
cocaine,
Is
I'm on
that the
cocaine, I'm on
Vapors? They
cocaine.
call it the Vapors?
The
The
Vapors?
Is that who sings that?
I don't know who sings it. That sounds that could be right. The Vapors.
The Vapors. Turning Japanese.
Turning Japanese. He really thinks so. It's a kind of a cute song about how he misses his girlfriend, I
Yeah.
think. It's cute.
So
How romantic.
So Tommy runs to like the police station where we get Sheriff Michael
Right.
Garris.
He's saying it over and over again to remember because he had to look it up because he was down on his trivia.
I did just like refresh. I had to get an IMDb refresh. There's a lot of fucking people in this movie.
There are a lot of people.
So Tommy's freaking out. And they don't believe him.
Right.
Jason's a myth.
I'm always like,
blah, blah,
what?
blah.
You know it really happened. Every single
They
one of
changed
these,
the
they're
name of
like,
the town.
I don't think so.
They changed the name of the town.
You know he's come back
it's gone.
5 times. You know he's been dead and come back 5 times. And you're like,
It's
I
gone.
know he's dead. He's never done this before, this death thing.
So he's freaking out. And then
We're not
Megan.
Camp Crystal Lake
So what?
anymore.
It's Megan, Sissy, Court,
I
and
loved Court.
Lizbeth's sister. 'Cause
And
I fucking
for a
don't know
little
her
bit,
name.
Lizbeth and Dennis.
Darren.
I got
Darren
the
and
D part.
Lizbeth. So they say Darren and Lizbeth a lot.
They do.
I'm obsessed with how they say Lizbeth. I'm obsessed with that name, Lizbeth. Lizbeth. If you're a Lizbeth, please comment below and tell us about
Hashtag
it.
this
Because
Lizbeth.
hashtag Lizbeth. Obsessed with you. And your name. I'm just obsessed. Lizbeth.
Completely obsessed. He was gonna count how many times, but like I don't know that he did,
Yeah.
which is okay.
Court's mom does not own a sewing machine. That's why his
That's what
jeans
we've
are all ripped up.
learned. That's
I think Court is my favorite character in this movie. I love him.
Love him.
I love him so
I
much.
love him when he's driving
When
the RV and he's
when
just like
when he's
"Woo!"
doing that like the rock formation thing with the kids, with the
Oh, yeah.
campers, and he's like telling them what it meant, what the rock formations would mean
Symbolize.
from Native Americans, and like it
Oh
was
yeah,
it's so
it's offensive.
Inappropriate and just hysterical.
It's really funny.
And he's so endearing. And then you get Tian and his little buddy being all snarky. Little buddy. God.
Well, yeah.
Little buddy.
Reaper. And his little body.
This is
Soft
not that
skin.
type of show. And his little buddy are all snarky. And I love them. They're so funny.
Yeah, they were really fun. They're
They're so
really
fun.
lighten the mood too. You know, you're like
And
in
Megan
kind
gives
of
a little
like,
empowering speech about not eating Brussels sprouts. And it's a lot of fun.
when does she say something about not
She's
eating
like ramping up the campers. It's
When
like
she's
right
like,
before
"And
court. Right
Scare
before-
boys!
Yeah.
We're gonna scare them!
I just love that there's campers in this movie because there's never campers.
Yeah,
in Friday the
I
13th.
like the campers actually. They're
It's
one
so
of the
fun.
best parts.
I think they're
of
the
movie.
best part. Then we have the paintballers.
You don't think Court is the best part?
Well, I think that they're a great addition. I think Court is the best character.
I mean, you're free to think whatever you want. It was a
Don't take away my freedoms.
curiosity question.
So then we have the paintballers.
Oh yeah, I love them.
Do
Actually,
you love them?
I love them. I love that
I
they're all pissed off that a
think
woman is winning and that they shouldn't have even had to invite her, but she's an executive. Damn
I
it!
think
I
they
love
might
them.
have been in the original script to begin with, but I feel like they were an addition, but I don't know for sure. on
It's
that.
weird that the one guy, the one paintballer's name is Roy,
Roy.
and so then I thought they were like referring to Jason
Roy.
as Roy because Roy
Roy.
killed all those people in the 5th one.
Yeah. But different Roy.
But different Roy.
It's different, but we like to recycle names in this series. We like to recycle head crushings and throwing bodies through windows.
There weren't any bodies or through windows. I don't think.
Yes, there was that girl whose name I can't remember. Elizabeth's
Oh yeah,
sister
yeah.
gets like thrown
Thrown
out
out.
and then dragged back in.
But
And I
there
love
weren't
that.
any flashbacks to
No.
the previous ones. This is the
There's
first
like a
one that had, I
voiceover,
think,
but I don't think that really counts.
like at the beginning in
at
the,
the
credits.
beginning, yeah. There's no nudity.
Yeah.
So if you come to this movie for tits, like you came to the last
Forget about
5,
it.
there's no tits
Horror
in this
movies
movie.
don't have to have nudity.
There's like a fully
There's
clothed.
not even a butt.
There's a fully clothed sex scene, and it's it's like the best sex scene in the entire series.
Oh yeah,
When they're dance fucking.
when they're dance
I
fucking.
love it.
It's yeah,
You're
and
the
that's
best. You're the best.
with
That's Nikki
Court.
and Court.
Yeah.
Court.
Court.
And when he takes
What's
off
his
in
name?
that
You
RV,
think his full name's Courtney?
I don't, probably.
Right?
Because it just says Court on
So
all this
probably
stuff.
Courtney.
So probably Courtney. But he's so 80s, he has to be called Court.
Court.
Because he's so cute.
I don't know what other guys, like, what do you go by if your name is Courtney as a guy? It's
Court.
right? You
It's
kind of
Court.
gotta go by Court.
I guess
You're not
you
gonna
do,
go
like-
by Courtney,
No.
right?
guess
I
you
mean,
could
no
do, like,
offense.
C.
Yeah.
Like, but that's, I don't know.
Or nay.
But I don't, Court sounds more formal.
Court.
Court.
Like you're courting.
Like, yeah.
It's probably where
Love
the
Court.
root of the word is.
He wants to rock, so they just, like,
So he
turn
just
up the
takes
Alice
off
Cooper.
in this RV.
Oh, it's the best scene in
just
the movie.
whipping
It's
the
so great.
RV around the corners and backing
It's baby
up.
really jams for
Yeah.
a big truck. I mean, it's all right. I
It was-
love it.
And what's her name?
And Nikki, she's like flying
Flying
around.
around in the back.
Court, shit,
Forwards and backwards. It's so funny.
wonderful. It's just wonderful. I think this movie is so funny.
It's really funny.
It's so funny. And there's parts that are like actually scary. When what's her name, Lizbeth's sister, is like walking through the cabin and he's following her to the outside. It's very creepy.
That's scary.
Very gothic.
Yeah,
horror.
and like there's a lot of build up to the meat. So there's suspense.
There
in the
is
build-up.
suspense in this one.
There's
I think it's
suspense.
suspenseful.
Yeah, more so
Than like 5.
than like I think all of them. I think all of them. The suspense
Pretty
hasn't
much.
been like the number one.
I think that the first
type
one
of
has good
fear.
suspense. I guess in the sense that you don't know who the killer is.
Yeah, that's true.
So I
But
think
it's-
that is really successful.
Because you think it could be somebody in
Yeah.
the group.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this is someone we haven't met. Because it's always someone you've met.
Right.
It's
like in
always
Scooby-Doo.
someone you've met
It's
before.
always like the second person
Yeah.
you meet.
Always.
First people are the Globetrotters, and the second people are the
That
murderers.
is one of my favorite episodes. One of the best Scooby-Doo movie episodes was the one with the Addams Family. And you can't...
You love the crossovers.
You can't get it. You can't... There's copyright
can't watch
issues and you
it.
can't
Oh,
watch it. And
that's
I've only
sad.
seen it like once or twice.
Oh, I would think it would be on YouTube, but they've
No.
kind of gotten...
No.
they've
And they've
enforced
done like
that a little bit.
official releases of the movies and that's never on them. Because they just can't get the rights. And it's probably the best. Although I love
For
the
them.
Mama Cass one as well.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
I love it.
I love that
I love it so much.
It's like...
She is
Oh,
wonderful.
I'm not
in it.
allowed to do that anymore? God
Can't.
damn it!
That is, see, because it's a W and then this is a P.
White people?
White pride.
Oh.
And
Well,
we
that's
don't.
fucking stupid.
They do it all the time, so we can't.
I
be
just like to
affiliated
do
with
that.
them.
It's an expression.
No, you can't
I know
because
I
then
can't.
you're gonna be a proud boy.
I know this is like not the right amount
Their
of anger.
their
about
RV
it.
is
It's
right
just-
up the street.
it's-
We
yeah.
can take you to the RV.
It's weird.
We're pretty
pretty
sure
sure.
there are proud boys in this
There's
RV.
a giant
that is,
eagle
like,
on it.
House painted black,
Yeah.
so it has house paint on it.
Right. And then
Um,
just this weird, like,
framed picture
of an eagle and a mountain side. And like
On the
not
outside of it.
realistic.
Yeah,
like
no.
a portrait.
But very,
like an
like,
obvious portrait.
American patriot.
Super
So I'm just
very
like, oh, so
American
you're a
patriot.
racist.
Yeah. Which, like, sucks that it's
Yeah.
that's what it is now.
Because we're in Portland, Oregon, and they love Portland, Oregon.
They love it here.
They just love it here. It's so wonderful.
It's horrible.
So they love to come and be proud.
And they're like,
boys here.
well, most of the people are white, so I find myself
They have the
very
dumbest
rarely
names.
angry. That it's so, and I
That's
don't
it.
mean this as an insult to gay people, but it is so gay, like literally gay. Like, you are all closeted gay men, and you would be so much less angry if you would just accept yourselves and be yourselves, but instead you fight against it, and now this is where you are. That's how I feel. We're going to take our name from a Broadway show that I absolutely love. I want to be named after a character. What character do you want to be?
They have like based Stickman. Isn't that a name? That's
They
a
have
name.
weird fucking.
And I'm
the
like,
KKK is
who
the
are
same
you?
way. Why do you need these fucking craziest? I'm the golden
I'm like,
dragon.
you are putting on a theater production. How are you not
Ridiculous.
gay?
Also, apparently they don't masturbate. So there's a whole nother reason to be real angry. You just deny yourself you're so stupid.
But we digress. This is not a political
Sorry,
podcast.
it's not political. And obviously those aren't the stupidest things about the Proud Boys.
No.
It's the racism.
It's the racism, but all that other shit is so
It's
funny.
so fucking just weird. It's so fucking weird.
The racism is serious.
Not a political.
Their names are fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
And like the fact that they drove a house painted RV with an eagle.
I
on
mean,
the
and
side
I
of it.
guess it could just be someone who I don't want.
I don't know.
Not that I think someone's
I
gonna
guess
watch this
it
and then
could
torch
just
that.
be someone, but I'm like, that
It just
eagle
looks
portrait
so suspicious.
kind of.
It looks like
tells
you
me
drove
other
here from
things.
Idaho to participate in the event.
Yeah, yeah.
No offense to people from Idaho,
No.
unless you're racist.
No, no.
Then full offense.
So then we get Jason standing on top of the RV because he kills Nikki and Court.
I'm catching up. I'm sorry.
I know we went on a political tangent.
We did.
But this is
I'm
not a
so-
political
It's not.
podcast.
It's just like on the top of everybody's mind all the time.
We just walked by that RV,
It's
so
just a lot.
it's just you have to watch your back and
I'm
forth
really
right now.
sorry. But it's not a war zone.
Not a war zone. It's not a war zone.
It's like totally fine out there.
It's fine.
So
We walked
Trump's
around
a liar.
today. It's beautiful out.
It's gorgeous. We went on a long walk.
Yeah.
No, nothing happened.
Yeah. Fuck. So Court and Nikki are dead. The RV crashes and like flies, and then Jason crawls out the side of it.
Right,
and
because
stands on
he's
top.
in the bathroom.
Yes.
And he's murdering
He's
Nikki, and
smashed.
Court thinks she's making like sexy screaming in the
he
bathroom.
thinks she's like probably like pleasuring herself because of course
That's what she'd go
Court
into an RV
couldn't
bathroom
make it to the end
do.
of the song, and he came, and she of course did not get off
Right,
because
so she needed to excuse
men
herself.
can never do that for women. So
frustrating.
so he thinks that she's playing with herself in the bathroom. Actually, it's Jason killing her.
Yeah,
It's very
totally
fun.
different sound.
Smashes her head through the mirror, through the wall
Into
of the
the
RV.
wall of the RV. It reminds
Like
me
it-
of something.
It happens a lot in horror. See, I watch horror movies, so that happens.
It reminds me of something where like an animal's face goes through, and then it's like a cartoon or something. I'm sorry if I come up with it.
Something.
I'll comment.
We'll comment.
It
about
reminds me of something very specific.
And then
The Simpsons.
then Jason comes out and gets Court, stabs her right through the head with a knife, and the RV like flies, and then that's an iconic Jason shot. Is when he crawls out of the RV and standing on top.
Yes, I've seen that on a T-shirt.
Iconic.
Do you have it on a T-shirt?
No, I
Interesting.
don't have a Part 6 T-shirt. I just never bought. There's plenty of them available, and I've never bought one. So
Does he honestly love Part 6?
I'm an idiot.
All the same or after these commercials?
I have a Part 7 shirt.
Do you like Part
I
7?
love Part 7.
Which do you
The
like
end
better?
is a little wonky. I think I like 6 better.
Well, get ready for Brian's on-theme shirt next time, though. That's like
The
something
end of
seriously
7
to
is a
look
little
forward
wonky,
to.
but 7's great. It's Carrie. It's Jason versus Carrie.
Oh,
It's
so
wonderful.
this is the first mashup.
Yeah, like she's not really Carrie,
Oh.
but her name
What's
is
it?
Tina, but she has
Is-
telekinetic powers.
Oh. I'm sad
I call her
that's
telekinetic teenager Tina.
not- Just seems like she's
Huge
the
fan.
Bob's Burgers girl and like really likes butts.
I love 7. The New Blood, not to be confused with Part 5, which was A New Beginning.
Is it Part 5, A New Beginning, or is it A New Beginning?
I'm
Part
pretty
5.
sure it's Part 5, A New Beginning.
So if
That's how I
all of
say
the
that.
rest of them go Part blah blah blah.
This was different. This one, because 5 failed. People were burned by 5.
I don't know why.
People were fucking
Wonderful.
burnt by 5.
It
so
was a delight.
They
What
were
were
like,
you expecting?
So this one, like Part 3, you have what? Like a $34 million hit in like 1982, right? And then I think Part 4 is a pretty big hit And
Part
then
4 is really good.
5 was like a decent hit. But it burned people. So this one should have been, I think this one should have been a big hit like 3. But it just wasn't because part 5 really left a sour taste in people's mouths.
Is part 3 the one that has 3D? Part 3 in 3D.
Part 3 in 3D.
So that was like a gimmick though.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that was part of it.
Yes. So there's
not
that.
Really a fair standard to set.
But I think it's one of the worst ones.
Right. I guess maybe if I had gone, maybe not even knowing that it had been released in 3D, because that was more of a thing then, where you'd be like surprised that it's in 3D, or it would be like such a big deal because it was being released in 3D.
We tried that again, but it didn't work.
And it was so obviously going to be a fad.
And they spent a lot of money on that fad.
And it was weird. Okay, and also, if you have a free 3D television, awesome. Fantastic.
That stuff's great.
Fantastic. It's completely different. Great. And I'm so sad they don't make 3D TVs anymore. Because it made just the regular picture look better.
I think it's great.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
And they wanted to turn every movie into 3D. I'm like, well, it wasn't shot that way, so it's not gonna work that well.
Right.
But
then if you watch Men in Black 3 in 3D, there's nothing that really pops out, and it's more just like everything. You're surrounded.
Feels like that was the new 3D. This new 3D was
I would totally watch everything like that. I think. They should have done that TVs for are expensive though, part too. 6. Jason Lives. Other way around.
Jason Lives, part 6. Sissy die yet? She gets killed.
Yeah, how does she die?
Her head gets crushed. Right. And then I think he pulls it off.
I also think he pulls it off because then you find it. And you hear it drop when she...
Yeah, or her body drops.
When her friend is like, you guys!
She finds it in the cop car.
Right.
So, I'm pretty sure he just pulled that head off.
Pull it right off. But the spinal cord doesn't come with. I guess because he twists.
He twists. He breaks it.
Yeah.
And then just rips it off. Great death in this.
Yeah.
I think the MPAA, whatever they are. I think they kind of had a hand.
Picture Association?
It's the Motion Picture Advisory
Panel.
Something. They're the ratings board. The ratings board.
That's hard to say. I'm surprised it was still rated R.
I think that they got a little bit into this one and cut stuff out, but not as bad as part 7.
I just think because there was no nudity that
they were very hard. They were very hard on Friday the 13th movies, though. His heart got ripped out.
Right, but it doesn't.
And there's lots of chunky blood.
There is a lot of chunky
blood. And
blood.
It's probably something about the color of the blood. Because color of the blood
matters. If it's like a brighter red and looks less, or if it's brown
matters
because
ratings.
It's like a black and white movie or whatever. If you shot it in black and white, just the bloody parts.
Because I know that the director of part 7 constantly has said that the MPA has raped his movie. That's his choice of words there. They were very hard on these movies, but I mean, this movie has no nudity and is so great.
Yeah, it was really good.
The crotch shot is sexy.
Yeah, totally. It's still like a make-out film.
Yeah. And I love when he has to have his head in their crotch.
Yeah.
And it's just
and he loves that he has to have his head in her crotch.
He loves it too. And it's wonderful.
Nice.
And it gets the whole point across without being gratuitous.
Yeah.
And I love gratuity. So, I just think it's great. And her jeans are hot. And her boots are hot.
Yeah. Oh, I love her boots.
Love her boots.
They're really cute.
Ugh.
She must have very skinny long legs because they're like a mid-calf boot and they are still so flattering.
So flattering.
You gotta have room in the mid-calf to really look good in a mid-calf boot. That's just the...
And then everyone dies. Lizbeth's sister dies. I love that I don't know her name, but I know Lizbeth's name, so we're just calling that. She's sister. Just Lizbeth's sister.
That's the one that you think that I look like?
I was I
35-year-old?
kind of thought you looked like the camper who was sitting right in front of her, who also looked like she was 35 years old. But you definitely look like her too, I think.
Oh.
So
I'm on
there
theme.
was that camper, that girl camper, don't you remember? She was sitting there and I'm like, that looks like you. She looks 35.
No, I don't.
But she was
remember
supposed to
who
be
it
like 12. Which is my friend
Boom.
Katie. So.
Nailed it.
But I think you also look like Lizbeth's sister, so.
I just have one of those faces.
Your hair is not as big, though.
No. I don't know how people make their hair that big.
Just that. Do that all the time.
Like that.
It's bad.
That's huge, no.
So then everyone dies, right? Lizbeth dies. Sissy's dead. Well, like, Megan and Tommy are still alive, and the cops are alive. We get the hunky cop.
Right, the hunky cop who laughs at the fact that the sheriff's daughter is the one driving the murderer.
Hard rock.
The alleged
summer.
murderer.
Yeah. So,
In
first,
her
I just want to say this soundtrack
Firebird.
rocks. Alice Cooper.
Yeah, it's like listening to the Detroit Rock City soundtrack, kind of. Except no Queen. Kiss. So sorry.
I knew she was going to get it.
So sorry.
That's a
Kiss.
great movie.
I love that movie.
I think that movie's hysterical.
That used to be my favorite movie.
I think it's definitely incredibly underrated. That movie.
I really like it. I've just
It's so
now
funny.
I've seen it a lot. So that's sort of too
I
bad.
think I saw it in the theater like 3 times.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
It was out when I worked in theaters, so like I saw that movie and Napoleon Dynamite so many freaking times.
Oh god, Napoleon Dynamite. I've seen that movie so much. I haven't seen it in a long time. But I used to watch it a lot. I loved Napoleon Dynamite. I was a fan.
So did I. I like when Uncle Rico throws a steak at his head. It's such a
I remember seeing it in the theater and like I think someone had already walked out of it, but then it gets to the part with I was like, God, this is a weird little
It's like an
movie.
independent film.
And then he goes up
crazy.
to Tina and yells, Tina, you fat lard, come and eat your dinner. And then 2 more people walked out, and I am dying. And I'm like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
I loved it. It was so
And
funny.
they're like leaving. I'm like, how do you leave after
Napoleon, can I have some of your tots?
that?
Get your own tots. And he kicks him in the pocket full of tots. Oh my gosh. It's like watching 30-year-olds play 12-year-olds.
I'm surprised
I think a little bit
they
too.
never made a sequel to that one.
Well, they had that cartoon,
Mm.
which I don't think was good. Because it's not necessarily a show for little kids.
No.
It's not, I mean, not that it's like inappropriate, just that it's not for their
It's not
brand
the
of
humor.
comedy.
But yeah. So everyone's dead. Everyone's dead.
33 minutes, 10 seconds. Sorry.
I know, you're a stickler for the time.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why.
No one watches these anyway,
Yeah,
so it
I don't
doesn't
know
matter.
why. I just feel like
So Megan, like
We
the
could
the
do this
sheriff,
for
like
hours.
finds the little girl that I don't know the name of.
Dale. He thinks it might be Lisa.
Or just say Lisa, right? So he finds Lisa, gets the boys, takes them all back to the girls' camp, makes them hide under the bed. Megan gets there with Tommy.
And they take the hamsters. with
They take
them
the
under
the
them.
giant
gigantic
hamsters. They're not guinea pigs,
That live in like.
but they're like this big.
Yeah, they're huge hamsters.
Not guinea pigs.
Big
Hamsters.
fat hamsters. But they have a
in
workout
one cage
wheel, so like.
that's like this big.
Yeah, it's like double the size of them. Cruel. Animal cruelty.
At one point, both of them are trying to get on the hamster wheel at the same time, and it can barely fit one of them
It's
on
gonna
it.
break off.
What? That's suspenseful.
It was. What was gonna happen? What if one of them was crushed?
And so all the
We
kids
feel
literally,
bad.
they grab the hamsters, they literally dive under the bed.
yeah, like
That's one of the best parts. They dive.
calculated dive under the bed.
Because I think kids would.
Yeah, I guess.
Um,
Well, you know, you don't feel as much when you're
right?
a kid.
Right?
Remember
You're
when you
just-
could like slide across
God.
floors? Have you
I can't
ever...
even stand up
Dude.
now without being
I tried to do the run and slide like 4 years ago and was like, oh my god! It's like crippling.
Don't try to do a cartwheel.
Don't try to do cartwheels.
I used to do them all the time. I'm not going to try to do one now. So they dive under the bed. Megan wants to find her dad. She tries to get Tommy to help her. And her dad, Tommy, is like, no, I'm going to do this. I got to get Jason. Fuck your dad. He's an asshole anyway. And then she runs off to like...
He is an asshole.
He is.
But in fairness, everyone he knew was murdered.
But I mean, all the portrayals of cops in these movies are pretty accurate.
Oh, yeah. I was saying Tommy was an asshole, but
Tommy's kind of an asshole.
Her dad is also an asshole.
Tommy's he's like hot though. So
yeah, whatever. And also like shit happens.
Shit happens. He's fucking trying to kill. He brought Jason back
to life. So really, what's happening?
And so he's trying to fucking fix his mistake, and she's like, my dad. So she's like running around trying to find her dad. Jason kills her dad.
Duh.
Like bends him backwards. It's really great. Kills the other hunky cop.
Oh yeah, because the little girl runs. No, doesn't hunky cop get killed when the little girl runs up to him, and he?
Yeah. So then, yes. So he dies before.
He dies before. Because then that's when she finds the sheriff and runs to him, and he gets all the kids into the camp.
Yeah. So it's before all that, and then the sheriff dies after that. And then, like, at one point, like, Megan's on the docks, or near the cabin by the dock. And
I'm really glad we're back at a camp.
Yeah.
I like the ability to kill things on docks.
Yes. And Tommy is out in a
like
boat
rapid,
on the lake. I almost said a river, but it is clearly a lake.
Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah. It's Lake Forest Green.
No.
You can't change the name of it.
It doesn't really.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, he's tying chains around a rock.
So
give me the padlock.
Yeah. So he's doing that. And then Jason goes up to get him, and Jason walks underwater because he's Jason. He's a zombie now.
Or like Frankenstein. Who's also a zombie. What really makes Frankenstein different from a zombie? Because he didn't catch being a zombie. He was brought back to life by and he's a bunch of different people put together. So he's like an
animated corpse.
Right. Which is basically what a zombie is.
Yeah.
It's just less contagious.
Right.
So really thoughtful.
So Jason pops out of the water a few times. They fight. Tommy is finally able to get the chain around his neck, and then Jason breaks the boat.
Right. Which
takes the rock down to the bottom of the lake.
And he grabs onto Tommy. And there a struggle ensues. Lots of near head crushing. Like, it looks like he's fully head crushing, but apparently, bless you, apparently not. And then, Megan.
Dives into the water in her hot jeans and her boots, and goes to save Tommy, get him out of the water.
Because he's floating up there like a drowned man.
But of course, like, I mean, the lake isn't that deep. So Jason's not that far down there because there's length to the chain.
Let's say it's like 20 feet deep.
Yeah. And so he is able to grab onto Megan.
8 feet of chain.
And then she grabs onto the back of the boat. I don't know boat terms. The
onboard motor.
The motor.
Onboard motor.
So, and then turns it on, and I would be terrified that I cut my leg off.
Totally. But instead, she just
slices his neck open with this running motor boat blade.
Yeah. What are those called?
I don't know.
Propeller.
The propeller. Thank you.
Used my brain. Did it.
So I would be terrified that I cut my foot off, but she doesn't. She gets Tommy out.
And it's incredible, actually, that she's able to start this thing, because all the while she's struggling with Jason.
Right.
And she's just
and she gets that fucking thing started because she is our final girl. And she is going to do it.
Who's the one you hate? Hi, it's Peg.
Pam.
Hi,
it's Pam. It's me, Pam.
But I see what you're saying now, that she's the worst
one.
And
that she is the worst one. She just screams Reggie for like the last like half hour of that movie.
I just enjoy her. But she's ridiculous.
I like part 5 though.
She's ridiculous.
I love like Violet. She has nothing to do in it, but I love how she dies dancing to Pseudo Echo. I love 5.
Yeah. That is a fun. That whole movie
trivia,
is fun.
Her mom is in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4.
Oh.
And she took that role because she's having like problems with her daughter in the movie, because she was having problems with her daughter in real life. So she used that in the movie.
Oh.
And yeah.
That's interesting.
Horror movie trivia.
See, that's the kind of level of trivia I expect from you on each one of these films. This is the thing, guys. He's the master. Okay?
I'm not the master. I know a lot of stuff, I think.
A lot.
But I'm not a master. I don't like to be like, I mean.
And then when he lets me down like this, it's frustrating. Because I feel like next time we're going to come back to 7 and he's going to be like, every single character has this background. Why this one? Why
I think that
one?
in part 7 we're just going to talk about the psychologist because he's a fucking asshole.
Okay. I'm excited. And Jason X, is that the 10th one?
Yes.
And so that's the one in the future.
Yes. Well, they're all kind of in the future. But that's the one that's in the
actual future. Yeah. Stop saying they're all kind of in the future.
They're all kind of in the future.
They're all like 2 years ahead of where they are.
I think
they were filmed in 85, but they were based in 87.
Part 8 is supposed to take place in like 1999.
Well,
so
when was it filmed?
1989. So that's like,
it's a little bit of a jump.
It's just the continuity is weird in the Friday the 13th franchise. That's all I'm saying.
Every time. They're all in the future.
But Jason X is really in the future, and it's fucking ridiculous and fun.
I'm excited.
So we got part 7, part 8.
Part 9, 10, 11,
part
and 12.
9, yeah. I mean, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We're actually really shooting right through this, I think.
know. Have you noticed, like, how it's evolved so far as a series from the first one to 6?
I mean, it's definitely a better product. I mean, they've changed what the product is, because the first one they're going for like a straight horror movie, and now they're clearly like, all right, let's be a little satirical because we've been doing this and people like it. Especially people in the horror movie genre, they don't mind a little satire even in like pretty serious moments.
No, yeah.
So that's for sure a big switch from the beginning. And I think also the product that they're turning out, the first one seems really low budget and like
very,
maybe not even really scripted well. And I mean, I enjoyed it because it's clearly the beginning of something, but it's definitely not like what we're getting now.
Right.
Because there's a huge budget comparatively.
Still very small, but yes.
Because of the commercial success.
Yeah.
Which I understand probably isn't as high as like a Disney movie, because those things are insane, but
yeah, I mean they're not going to put $180 million into.
Right.
They put $90 million into It Chapter 2.
Oh, that's interesting. Is it
and
good?
I really enjoy it. It's probably not the greatest movie, but I really love It Chapter 2. And like my entire life of being like a horror movie kid, I'd be like, watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's like, what if they gave this movie a $90 million budget? And then they kind of did with It Chapter 2, and it's ridiculous, but I love to see it. So
there you go.
Yeah.
All of them more next week on Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm. Part 7. Katie. We'll have part 7 on the dock. A New Blood. New Blood.
Is there a dock?
I think.
Or like on the dock?
Yes, there is a dock. How am I forgetting a dock in part 7? Because there is very much a fucking dock in part 7.
People watching, all of them,
so
disappointed. All of them. Jonelle there's a dock, Brian.
It is a huge set piece in the movie. So yes, there is a fucking dock. It's a huge set piece. You're going to be like, this movie is ridiculous. I mean, like, wait till we get to part 8.
That's what you say every time I say something about, like, a character that's over the top or whatever. He's like, just wait. Every time.
Because it's, like, legitimately the answer.
Yeah, it's true. It's just they do get crazier every time. Although, like, I don't know, there's not the greasers ever again. There's nothing that ridiculous yet. That makes no sense.
I think the paintballers came pretty close.
But they're hilarious.
I like them a lot better than the bikers. Yeah. I do.
They're
a
so
lot
funny.
Better than the bikers.
They have their own little social commentary going on, like women in the business place, and like nerds can
and then like the super macho guy,
the super macho guys who are like losing, which is like
love it. It's so funny.
So good.
So I like that a lot better than the bikers.
Yeah. I agree.
There's a lot of that stuff in these movies.
To rack
you have
up
the Undertaker.
Kills.
Yeah, you have the Undertaker, who's like a crazy Ralph.
Right. Roy.
No. Roy,
oh,
Ralph was in the
this
first
movie.
Two.
I gotcha.
Yes.
Yes. He's a lot like Ralph.
Yes, so he's
the
a lot
guy
like
on the
Ralph.
bike who's married. His wife.
Who was married? He was married. Town drunk, married.
I mean, you got to do something in these small towns.
He just drove his bike around telling people they're all doomed.
He's right, though.
And
no
correct.
one listens. Who wouldn't be driven to drink?
And
no one's listening.
He himself was doomed.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for part 2.
Alert. Well, you know what? You've come this far, so I feel like
spoil all these movies for you.
We're spoiling every single one of these. You can count on it.
So part 6, one of the best. My dad would always say to me, how do you watch these movies over and over again? They're all the same. And I'm like, you have to, or you never have Friday the 13th part 6. Like, you never have a Jason Lives if you didn't have all the other ones. So you have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to get to something like 6.
Right.
Because 2's great. 3 is all right. 4 is pretty good. I like 5, but it is an anomaly.
A disappointment.
And then 6 is like... After 5, 6 is like...
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
It is. It's really good. It was a really good movie. It's like more of a real movie again. You can tell that they're appealing to a broader audience.
Yeah, this is, I think, when it turns into like MTV Jason. I think part 5 was a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But part 6 is definitely like MTV
He has really
Jason.
Interesting timing that can be kind of like funny, and you know,
the maggots just, like, on his face.
Oh yeah, which is all Tales of the Crypt looking.
Yeah.
Which was on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was incorrect.
I think they also did one on Fox, though. I think they might have
I thought there was one on Nickelodeon. I thought there was one on Nickelodeon, and I think I'm thinking of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That's Are You Afraid of the Dark. Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah, yes.
That's Are You Afraid of the Dark.
But what's there? Do they have a crypt keeper who talks?
They meet around the campfire, and they always say, the one who's telling the story says, like, on behalf of the Midnight Society, I present to you the, like, I don't know. Tale of the Laughing Ghost or whatever it's called.
That's a good title.
And there is an episode, The Laughing. It might, I don't know. There's the one about the clown. That's terrifying.
The chuckling clown.
And then they would throw like, I don't know what it was, like magic powder in the fire.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it would,
okay, yes, I kind of remember that part.
And like
I'm
that,
sure I wasn't allowed to watch
like.
this.
I guarantee you were not allowed to watch that.
Sure, I was not.
Sheltered. You couldn't watch
Doogie Howser or the Wonders
or Family Matters.
No.
Could you watch Family
Step
Matters?
Step by Step. Couldn't watch Step by Step because the guy who played Cody beat his wife.
Yes, he did.
And
I remember
that. So my mom was like, "We don't support that show,"
which
is like
that.
a strong female move to
That
make.
is empowerment, is what that is.
I don't understand what she's become. She's not going to watch this. So
She won't watch
whatever
it.
I want.
We love Bev.
We do. She's great. It's just weird that...
We don't always get Bev, though.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think that we've rambled enough. This is our longest episode yet.
ta-da!